internalization of cost. The other one is orienting the main ongoing transition. There are already some transition in action, like the society is more and more interconnected. We are going towards a more service society. The information and communication technologies are very present and let us do something like this and blah blah. Well, we can orientate this towards more sustainable solution. For example, digitalization can reduce the consumption of resources. Think when we used to write letters. We write a letter, we take a piece of paper, coming from wood, the ink and blah blah, we put it in a postcard, and we send it, it's transported by a plane, it arrived there. So it's now we send an email, okay? And this goes and, well, in terms of resources, we are consuming a little bit of energy, but definitely not that much as the letter and all the things, right? Then you can decide it's nicer a letter or an email, I don't know. The point is that you don't know, but after email is there, it's a kind of a push and print reaction, so that we have been, starting to print letter more than we were used to write letter before. So that actually this improved the consumption of paper and ink then. That means that there is a potential there, okay, of dematerialization. The point is we have to orientate this potential, the potential that is there, towards sustainable solution. So design, services and product that makes this potential to be really effective. Do we need to print all of this? What we can design to make this senseless and so on. And this is very important because when you have a transition in action, this is already strong. And when it's strong, so it changes a lot, when smartphone appear, when internet appear, everything changes. This can make radical changes, and radical changes happen. So if a transition is already happening, that could be strong. And if you are able to orient this, so you are like going on a train that is running already very fast. And if you are able to take it, to the right direction, because it has the potential, then that could be very successful. There is another issue, another action that could be taken it's a bit on the other side of that, not opposite, but is to work on promising offering or business model that are so far niche, so that it's not the business as usual, okay? So only few people are doing this, okay? And for example, this promising model is what we are studying into this course: sustainable product service system and distributed economy. So far they are niche, though car sharing is among those. We will see this, even though not all car sharing is environmentally sustainable. We will learn even this. So not all the sharing economy is sustainable, not at all. But the point is to understand this and to make this niche proposal to become more mainstream. Okay, so we can work actually up to these 3 levels. The size and the quality and the quality of change. So you get a point. You understood something about sustainable development a bit more than before? Yes? Good. Happy. I did my job. How much we have to change and what kind of change we have to take for. So in 2050, can you guess how much we have to reduce the consumption of resources compared to the consumption of industrialized context if we want to have a sustainable development? So taking into consideration even the equity principle. 2050 is in not that far. How much less resources compared to the industrialized context?
50%?
50%. It's 90%, so we should be able to use only 10% of the resources we are using now to make this computer and the chair and the things and everything, the light that is here. So 10% of the resources. 10% of the resources. And these are forecasts. There is someone that is saying it's more, someone is saying a bit less. Nevertheless, this is the dimension. We have, and we have to bear and to have to keep this in mind, okay? We have to keep this in mind. So this is saying something about the quality of change. If that was the size, what is the quality of change? We need radical change. So incremental change are not enough anymore. We cannot just, improve a little bit the car so that it consumes a little bit less, that it's a little bit more recyclable, that material and whatever, and so on. We need really radical change. And when we speak about us, we are designers, we are speaking about innovation, we need even system innovation. And what is system innovation? You basically know, but let me give you an example. It's not only thinking about a process to produce a material, neither a car, simply a car. Is to think to the overall system of satisfaction, to deliver, for the mobility. We have to think to the mobility, the fact that people has to move from one place to the other. So there are different actors, suppliers of components, of materials. There is the distribution phase, the disposal, and other. There are different actors that are involved into this mobility system. So we have to think to the overall system and to innovate up to the overall system. Actually, you will see that what we will, as an anticipation, what we will come up to design will be the configuration of stakeholder. We will design stakeholder interaction that are sustainable in environmental, socio-ethical, and economic nature, more than product. So this is kind of an anticipation. So to move from just a product to a system, because then we have more chance for radical innovation. If you just change the car, then it doesn't say that change allow the next change to happen. If I'm making a material, I would need a different material to be better for the car performing or whatever. If the design is not considering the all stakeholder, maybe something is not happening. Okay, so we have to think on a system level to be, to have more chances for radical innovation. And the other thing, you know what it is? It is that it's not enough that you design, a radically more sustainable solution. Okay? Maybe you design this, it reduces a lot of environmental impact. It's even, socio-ethically sustainable, but no one buys it. It doesn't substitute, what exists there. So we fail. It has to be not only radical, but it has to be even diffuse. And if we want to have it diffuse, it has to be, feasible in economic, in the contextual term, and to be perceived as better than the existing and sustainable solution. It has to be more attractive. And here we come to a very interesting thing, the aesthetic of sustainability. That is something that is really related to us. Think about how many products really they are up to the market. We can speak about Apple and iPhone or something like that they break just because there is something linked to the design or something that attracts or something. Okay, that makes this and so all change to that because of this reason, because it's so. How important is the aesthetic of sustainability into that is really a key point. I will come, and this is, they could say whatever, that maybe to design the stakeholder partnership, or this is for the project manager. The aesthetic is just for designer, okay? They say, no, listen, this is up to me. I take care about aesthetic. And it's really very important. We will come up to this really at the end of the lecture today.